Good afternoon, everyone. I hope I'm audible to all of you guys. Everyone, can you quickly reply if I'm audible and visible or not? All right, that's great. That's great. Okay, so guys, when we had met yesterday, right? I'm sure you remember we learned a very interesting and important topic called ranking. Today also we are going to learn again an interesting topic which is called inequality, right? And guys, in the last session, sorry, I give you 2 questions for the homework as well, 1 question for the homework, right? But I got only 2 answers. I thought that I'll be getting more answers. It's okay. I'll give probably I'll give some question for the homework today as well. So I'm expecting so many answers from your side, right, guys? Will you answer those questions, everyone? Yes or no? See, it takes a lot of effort, guys, which we are doing for you. We create the questions, come online, So I want your response as well, right? Okay, let's start with today's session. The name is inequality, as the name suggests, right? Guys, I'm sure you know the basic meaning of inequalities, right? Something which is not equal, you can say, right? So first thing, let's understand a few signs. Okay, so the different signs in this chapter can be greater than, less than, equal to, less than equal to, greater than equal to, and not equal to. So let's understand what can be the different meanings of them, right? Okay, let's take some examples. Let's say, guys, if they are saying that A is less than B. So very simple, that means the value of A should be less than the value of B. Pretty easy, right? Similarly, if they are saying that A is greater than B, right? Okay, let's do one more thing to understand more. Let's assume for a while that B is given to us as 5, right? So if A is less than B, that means the value of A should be less than 5. All right, less than 5 could be anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.2, 4.5, 4.9, 4.99, minus 2, minus 3, all the values which are less than 5 can be the values of A, right? Similarly here, if B is 5 and A is greater than B, so we can say A should be greater than 5. Simple as this. Next, guys, A is equals to B if we assume, with the sign of equal to. So that means A is equal to 5 because we have considered B as equal to 5, right? Now, less than equal to, suppose you are saying A is less than equal to B and the value of B is 5. That means A is less than equal to 5. So guys, in this case, the value of A can be equal to 5 as well, right? The only condition here is that A should not be greater than 5, right? All the values of A can be possible. The only value is not possible, the only values will not be possible, those values which are greater than 5, right? So A could be, we can say, any number in fact, right? Negative, 0 and positives, but as I said, should be maximum up to 5, right? 4, 4.9 and 5 as well, but not more than 5. Similarly, the next one, again an easy one, if let's say we are given A is greater than equal to B and the value of B is, let's say, 5, right? So A should be greater than equal to 5 this time. So this time all the values of A will be possible which are 5 or greater than 5, right? So if 5 is possible, 5.2, 6, 7, in fact up to the positive infinity, all the values of A can be possible in this example. Next case, guys, if they are giving not equal to, right? So A is not equal to B here. The value of B we know is equal to 5, right? So that means A is not equal to 5. So guys, except 5, all the values of A, are possible. Whether it's negative, positive, 0, all the values of A are possible. The only value which it cannot take here is equal to 5, right? So this is how, the basics of this. I think this is pretty easy, isn't guys? That was easy. I'm sure all of you must be able to understand this. All of you, do you understand this or not? Just write yes or no to me. Yeah, pretty easy. Exactly. Okay, so let's move to the next slide, right? In the next slide, guys, again, we'll try to understand this with the help of an example. Okay, in this example, guys, we are given, of one statement, right, and a few conclusion, and we just have to find out that which among these conclusions is or are, following the statement given, right? Easy example, let me explain to you. The statement given is that A is greater than B, B is greater than C, C is greater than D, D greater than E, E greater than F. Very simple example, guys, okay? See, if you are finding difficulty in, finding the conclusions, whether they are true or not, then we can, take the example of numbers, right? If it is very easy to understand, then obviously we don't need to, take the numbers. Otherwise, we can assume a few numbers as well. Okay, so a statement is A greater than B, greater than C, greater than D, greater than E, greater than F. So the first conclusion is A greater than D. So guys, that's very obvious that conclusion 1 has to be true, right? Suppose for a while that A is 10, just assuming this, B is 9, C is 8, D is 7, E is 6 and F is 5. So what about A and D, guys? A is 10 and D is 7, so pretty obvious that A has to be greater than D, isn't it? Such an obvious thing is this. Next is C greater than E, so C is also greater than E, very obvious. C is 8 and E is 6, has to be greater. Then they are saying C greater than F, that is also satisfying because C is 8 and F is 5, so satisfying, yes. Then they are saying E greater than A. Guys, this is not possible because the value of E is 6 and the value of A is 10. So obviously that cannot be true, right? Because E is 6, A is 10, E is not greater than, A. We can clearly see 6 is not greater than 10, very obvious. So this is something which is not following the given statement. C greater than A, similarly to the last conclusion, this is also not possible because C is 8 and A is 10. How can 8 be greater than 10, right? So this is also not true, right? Simple example, guys, to make you, understand that what kind of questions can be there, right? Yes, only the last two conclusions are not true. Rest, all of them are true, right? I'm sure you guys understand that. Such an easy, example. All right, I think we can go further, right? Easy example. Is anyone, if it is not clear, any point is not clear to anybody, guys, you can, write in the chat. I'm reading the chat as well while writing on the board. I'm also reading all of your chats. Okay, let's move to the second, statement and some conclusions. So guys, can you try to do this? Okay, can you try to tell me? This is just an example. We haven't started the questions yet. This is just an example. So I want you guys to, try this once. We have 6 conclusions here, right? We have 6 conclusions. So just number with the conclusion that which do you think is, not true. Or you can say write anything which is true or which is not true, same thing. Just write the numbers, guys. Do not write all the conclusions. It will be, time taking for you. Just write the numbers to the conclusion which are true or which are not true. Alright guys, among all of these conclusions, Only the third one is true. Yes, only the third one is true. Very good, guys. Very good. Only the third one is true. Even the sixth is also false, right? Okay, let's discuss this quickly. They are saying they have given a statement and a few conclusions. Statement is what? That A is less than B, B is less than C, C equals to D, D greater than E, E greater than F. All right. The first conclusion is that A equals to D. So obviously this is not true, guys. Let's say the value of A for a while as 10. Okay, let me write this statement here once again. A less than B, B less than C, C less than D, D less than E, and D greater than E, and E greater than F. All right. So guys, let's say A is 10. Okay, so A is less than B. B must be greater than 10. I just assumed a value 11, right? It could be something else as well. Similarly, just assume C is 12, so D must be 12 as well, right? So what do you think, is A equal to D possible? Actually no, right? A is 10 and D is 12, so that's just not possible. The actual inequality should be that A is less than D, right? A cannot be equal to D. In fact, A can't be greater than D as well. The only inequality will work that A is less than D. All right. Now guys, the 1, 2, 3 we have dealt with. The fourth conclusion is that C equals to E, right? So what about C and E? Obviously that's not possible. C is equal to D and D itself is greater than E. So E has to be less than 12, right? Let's take any value. You can take 11.5 maybe, right? So C is 12 and E is 11.5. Definitely C is greater than E. C just can't be equal to E, right? So this conclusion is also, we can say, false over here, right? Okay, coming to conclusion number 5, which is B equals to E, right? So guys, B we know is 11. Okay, this is actually, we have taken few values, right? So by the way, B can be equal to E, B can be greater than equal to E, and B can be less than equal to E as well. Let me show you how. Okay, just like we assume the values here, right? B is being 11, C is 12, D is 12. These are just the assumption, we know that. So guys, D is greater than E, right? So E should be what? Ideally, we can say E is less than D. So E should be less than 12, E should be less than 12. Now, less than 12, can be 11 as well, right? It can be 11.5 as well. It can be 10.5 as well, right? So actually, they cannot be obtained any relation between B and E, right? We can say what? That any relation between B and E is possible with the help of the given information. Let me show you guys. E is greater than 12, less than 12, right? So if, let's say, E is 11.5, then we'll say what? That B is less than E, right? Let's say if E is 11, then B and E must be equal to each other, right? The last possibility, if let's say given to us that E is 10.5 for a while, then in this case we'll say what? That B has to be, we can say what? Greater than E, right? So all the three things are possible here, right guys? So that's why there is no certain relation about between B and E, and that's why this conclusion is also not true. Okay, similarly, if you look at the last one, C and F, so guys, the same thing, we cannot obtain any relation about between F and C as well. Okay, I can do this as well, with the same logic, but I think that will just be time taking. In fact, I would say that there can be one logic between them, one relation between them, and that is C is greater than F, right? One relation can obtain between C and F, and that is C greater than F. You can easily see that. See guys, C is 12, D is 12, E should be less than 12, right? And F is less than E as well, right? So suppose for a while that E is 11, just an example, or 11.5. So F should be less than 11.5. Let's say F is 10.5. So definitely C is 12 and F is 10.5. So C has to be greater than F. That means there can be a relation obtained between C and F, but it's not the relation which is given in the conclusion. So this conclusion is also not correct. That means only conclusion number 3 can be correct here, right? I think that was an easy one, right? Okay guys, let's discuss the next one. This time, we are connecting two statements. Let me show you. This is that A is greater than B, B greater than C, C equals to D, and then C is greater than E, E is greater than F, right? And we have again 6 conclusions, right? This time what is happening, guys, there are 2 conclusions given, 2 statements given, sorry, and we have to combine them to actually try to, answer that which of the conclusions can be true here. Okay, let's try to read the conclusions, and then we'll see that where we have to combine the statements, and we have to combine the statement to connect which symbols, right? We'll see that later on. First, let's read all the conclusions one by one. So guys, look at the first 2 conclusions. They are about the relation of A and D, right? So A and D you can define with only statement number 1. You don't need to check the statement number 2. And with the help of statement 1, it's pretty easy to say that A has to be greater than D for sure. Isn't, guys, that something very easy, that A is definitely greater than D, right? I don't think we need to discuss much about this. We have done such kind of examples already, so we can easily say A is greater than D. So A equal to D is not possible. Does anyone want me to explain this? Guys, does anyone want me to explain this, and how has it happened? I don't think so, right? That was something pretty easy. Okay, fine. The next is about A and E. Alright, guys, so now E is in the second statement, you can see that. So we have to actually try to combine these statements. Alright, how can we do that? They have given C is greater than E is greater than F, right? Now, guys, combining them, it's, I think, pretty easy. We know that A is greater than B is greater than C, and from here we know that C is greater than E. That's it. We don't need to do this more, because this conclusion is only about A and E, right? So ideally we shouldn't do it more, right? Okay, so what about A and E, guys? See, A greater than B greater than C greater than E. So obviously A has to be greater than E, isn't it, guys? That's very obvious that A has to be greater than E, right? So we can say that this conclusion is true. That's for sure, right? Okay, the next one is about C and E, right? Okay, guys, so we know the fact that C is equal to D and C is greater than E, right? So why even this conclusion is given? This is because this is something we know directly, that C is greater than E. So this cannot be equal. Very obvious is this, right? Okay, the next one in this conclusion list is B equals to E. So, guys, again from this we can easily say that B should be greater than E. That means they just cannot be equal to each other, right? So this is also cancelled. And the last one is F greater than C. So they are connecting F and C, that we can see only from statement number 2. We don't need to check statement 1 for this. They are saying C greater than E greater than F. Okay, so by the help of this, we can directly say that C is greater than F, alright, and F is less than C. So this conclusion is also not true. Only conclusion number 2 and 3 are correct. Right, guys, I hope this is easy to understand for you. Easy example, isn't it? Everyone, I hope this is clear and we can move further. Right, I think we can go, right? We can go ahead. Pretty easy. Okay, guys, let's talk about the next one. Okay, this is something interesting, right? Okay, they have given a statement that A is greater than B and B is equal to C, right? And the conclusions are that A greater than C, A equal to C. Okay, let's write the statement here again. A greater than B equal to C, right? Okay, guys, what do you think, that is the conclusion 1 definitely true or not? Everyone, can you just tell me, is conclusion 1 definitely true or not? Remember my question? My question is that, is it definitely true or not? Yes, my question is that, is conclusion 1 definitely true or not? No, actually no, this is not definitely true, guys. This may be true, but not definitely true, Okay, they are saying A greater than equal to B and B is equal to C. So let's assume for a while that A is 10. Alright, guys, let's assume for a while that A is 10. Now what should be the value of B? Either B is equal to A, or we can say B is less than A, right? There can be both the possibilities. So we can say what? If, guys, B is equal to A, so it should be 10, right? But if B is less than A, so we'll say B is less than 10, right? So both the possibilities are there, right? I'm sure you guys agree with me that there are both the possibilities exist. If B is less than 10, it could be anything again, right? Let's say if B is less than 10, let's say for a while that B is 9. Now we know that B should be equals to C, right? So in the first case, B and C are equal, so they both should be equal to 10. And in the second case, B and C are equal, so C must be 9, right? Now let's look at the conclusions one by one. The first conclusion is that A greater than C. So what do you guys say? Is it definitely true? Actually not, right? This is true in the second case, right? This is true in the second case, but not true in the first case. Right, guys, the conclusion number 1 is true for the second case, but not true for the first case. So this is not definitely true. So the answer actually should be cross, this is not definitely true. What about the second conclusion, guys? Is A equal to C or not? Is it definitely true or not? What do you say? All of you, what do you talk about conclusion 2? Is it definitely true or not? This is also not definitely true, You can see that A equal to C exists on a statement 1, but does not exist in conclusion number 2. So this is also, which is something not definitely true, right? Okay, so what should we do in such kind of cases, right, guys? So right now, I did not give you the options. What kind of options can be there? Let me write it for you. Okay, we have two conclusions, right? So options will be there that if only conclusion 1 is true, okay, then there will be if only conclusion 2 is true, then if both conclusions are true, and one option will be in a way that if either 1 or 2 is true, alright, if either 1 or 2 follows the statement. So guys, what would you say? Can we say answer D is correct here? Can we all say that? Is it answer D? Is the answer option D? Guys, can I say the answer is option number D or not? Yes, actually, we can say answer is option D because one of these two is definitely true, one of these two is definitely true. If first one is true, then second is false. If the second is true, then first is false, and no other possibility can be there. No other possibility, I mean to say that A is less than C, that is not possible for sure, right? You can check that, guys. Conclusion number 1, A greater than C. It's true in conclusion 2, but not true in. It's true in case number 2, but not true in case number 1. If you talk about conclusion 2, it is true in case number 1, but not true in case number 2, right? So at least one of them is true for sure, right? Either in conclusion 1 or in 2. So in such case, we'll say that the right option has to be the option D, either 1 or 2 follows. Alright, guys, this has to be the best option with us. Right, I'm sure you understand, and such kind of options occur in the actual questions as well. That's why I'm telling you some examples so that you get to know that how do we have to handle such kind of options. All right. Okay, let's move to the next kind of example, guys. This time I want you to try. Everyone, just try for this. Just tell me that which conclusion is definitely true. All right, just tell me that which conclusion is definitely true. Guys, is there any conclusion which is definitely true? Actually, there is no conclusion, guys. If you look at this carefully, you will find that there is no conclusion, which is definitely true. None of the conclusion is definitely true, okay? Okay, let me show you how. The statement is what, that A is greater than B and B is, less than C, right? Okay, conclusions are that A is greater than C, A is less than C, and A is equal to C, all right? Guys, you'll be, taking some, again, cases. You know what, when the picture is not very clear, when the conclusion is not very clear that which conclusion is true, which is not true. So guys, instead of making the conclusion true, you should try to make it false, because that is something more easy, okay? Instead of, let me repeat that, instead of making it true, try to make it false, because that will be something, easier to actually work on, right? For example, in conclusion number 1, they are saying A greater than C, right? So we'll try to work on the fact that A should not be greater than C, A should be equal to C, or A should be less than C, right? If the things are not very clear. Okay, actually guys, if I just take an example that let's say A is 10, okay, A is greater than B and B is 9, just an example. So, and then they are saying that B is less than C, right? B is less than C. So guys, you know, here can be a lot of possibilities. B is less than C, that means C is greater than B, right? And B we have taken as 9, that means C has to be greater than 9. Now greater than 9, there can be a lot of possibilities, right? Greater than 9 can be maybe 9.5, right? Greater than 9 may be 10 as well, and greater than 9 can also be, you know, 11. Now we have to find a relation between A and C. So guys, look at the first conclusion, A greater than C, right? And we know the fact that A is, you know, fixed as 10, right? In this example, we assumed as A is 10. So if A is 10 and C is 9.5, in this case, A should be greater than C, isn't it, guys? In this case, A should be greater than C. 10, 9.5, A is definitely greater than C, right? But is it definitely true? Actually not, right? Because A can be equal to C as well, you can see that, and A can be less than C as well. If C is 10, then A and C will be equal to each other, and if C is 11, then A must be less than C. So all the three possibilities are there, right? A can be greater than C as well, A can be less than C as well, and A can be equal to C as well. Let me write the possibilities here. If C is 9.5, A is 10, so A is greater than C. If C is 10, then A is equal to C, and if C is 11, then A is less than C, right? So all the possibilities are there. That means none of the conclusion is definitely true. In fact, you know, just like the last question, we should ideally write that either 1 or 2 or 3 follows, right? We should ideally write in such format. Alright guys, simple as this. I'm sure you must be able to understand. Now from here, I think we should start, you know, some questions, right? So there I have written the options as well. The options are usually, you know, the options like fix. Let me read the options here. The first option is that if only conclusion 1 is true. Second is that if only conclusion 2 is true. Third is that if either 1 or 2 is true. Fourth is that if neither 1 or 2 is true. Fifth one, if both, you know, 1 and 2 are true. All right. One statement and 2 conclusions. Okay. First question, guys. So let me, you know, solve for you. The statement is about H, I, J, K, L. First conclusion is about K and H. Second is about L and I. All right. Not very difficult. I'm sure you can understand that this is not as difficult. H is greater than or equal to I, which is equals to J, which is greater than K, and that is actually less than or equals to L, right? Okay, first conclusion is about K and H, right? First conclusion is about K and H. Okay, I think that is easy, guys. Let's say for a while that H is 10, okay? Let's say for a while that H is 10, okay? And what about I? I should be, you know, less than or equal to H, right? I should be less than or equal to H. Let's say I is either 10, or let's say for a while that I is equals to 9, right? Because H can be either equal to I or can be greater than I, simple. Now guys, K is equal to J, I is equal to J, right? So I and J must be equal to each other. I'm just taking a few cases here, alright? Now J is greater than K, right? So K must be less than J, or you can say K must be less than 10 in this case. Just write like this, that K is less than 10, alright? And here K is less than 9, okay? Now the question, this conclusion was about K and H. So K is here and H is here. So guys, H is being 10 in both the cases. And in the first case, K is less than 10. In the second case, K is less than 9. So in both the cases, we are very much sure about the relation of K and H, that H has to be, you know, greater than K, right? Very obvious that H has to be greater than K, or K has to be less than H, same thing. So conclusion 1 has to be true, right guys? I'm sure you understand. Conclusion 1 has to be true, pretty easy, right? This is, you know guys, in the beginning this is an easy chapter, but don't worry, with some time we will increase the level as well. Coming to the second conclusion, let's talk about L and I, right? So what about L and I? L is here, I is here, we did not mention much about this. Okay, guys, I, if I have to, let's say, assume it again, right? So what can I do? What can we do? Alright, let's write the same inequality. But this time we only have to work on L and I, right? So do not need to write everything. Let's ignore H and write the relation which can connect I and, you know, L. Okay guys, there the problem is, you know, that in between there is less than, equal to, both. So in such kind of scenarios, usually we are not able to, you know, find a unique relation, okay? but let's still try. Let's say I is equal to 10, so j should be 10 as well, right? And j is greater than k, so guys, let's assume for a while that k is 9 because it should be less than j, right? Now k is less than equal to L, so here comes a twist, right guys, here comes a twist. K is less than equal to L, so we can also say that L has to be greater than equal to k, right? L has to be greater than equal to k, and k we have assumed as 9, you know, so L has to be greater than equal to 9. It can be equal to 9 as well, so let's say it is 9. It can be equal to 10 as well, right? It can be equal to 10.5 as well. So there can be a lot of possibilities, right? And I is being 10 always, right guys? I is being 10 always. Now let's talk about the relation between L and I, okay? So first case, you can see that L is definitely less than I, okay? In the second case, we can say what L is equals to I, alright? The third case that L is greater than I, right guys? So among L and I, there is no relation formed because all the relations are possible, right? No definite relation can be formed, right? Between L and I, we can say no definite relation can be formed, okay? So in such case, guys, what should be the answer? The final relation is that there is no, there is no clear relation between L and I can be, exists, and here it is written that L is greater than equal to I. So this one is actually missing, L is less than I is missing. Rest two are covered. L equal to I is also covered, L greater than I is equal to covered, but L less than I is not covered. That's why this is not a correct, conclusion, and that's why the right option has to be option A, right? Easy question, guys. I'm sure all of you are able to understand. Anyone any doubt here? Anyone any doubt with this? So you can ask me if you have any. No. Alright, let's move to the next question, guys. Question number 2. I think that was an easy one, right? Question number 2, I want you guys to try. I want all of you to try for me. Okay, so a lot of correct answers. That's nice, That's nice to see that a lot of correct answers have come. Answer is option D. Yes, that's true. If neither conclusion 1 nor 2 is true, right? Okay, let me do this for you quickly. They are saying S is greater than C, greater than equal to O, and P is less than C. All right. So there is no connection, by the way, right? This is a different statement and this is a different statement, right? Okay, so if there is no connection, guys, how can we find a relation between O and P? Because, okay, sorry, C is common. I just, forgot to mention this. C is common, so there is a connection, right? But is this conclusion true or not? That is something we have to work on. So they are saying S is greater than C, C is greater than equals to O, and then they are saying P is less than C. That means C has to be, greater than P as well. Now we have to make a relation between O and P, right? Okay, C is greater than P, fine, but that doesn't mean we get a unique relation among O and P. If I take few examples, see in these two, you know that C is common, so obviously we have to take C as a bridge, connecting the other variables. Okay, so yeah, as I said, we will be starting with C. Let's assume for a while that C is 10, right? C is 10 in both the cases. So here P is less than C, right guys? So P has to be nothing but less than 10. The only thing we should mention right now that P is less than 10. And here also we can say O is less than equal to C. So only thing we can say that O is less than equal to 10, right guys? So now you think in that way that O is less than equal to 10 and P is less than 10. Is it sufficient to make a relation between them? Actually not, right? There can be all the three relations possible. See, let's say if O is 10, right, and P is okay, not 10, then equal to will not be obtained. Let's say O is 9 and P is also 9, they both will be equal to each other. Let's say O is 9 and P is 8, then O will be greater than P. Let's say O is 9 and P is 9.5, then O will be less than P. So all the three relations exist between O and P. That's why this conclusion is just not true, right? Okay, coming to the conclusion number 2, similarly, this time we have to connect S and P, and again we'll be doing with the help of, C, because C is a common bridge again, right? Okay, let me just erase for O. Let's again take C as 10, S is greater than C, so S has to be, we'll say, greater than 10, right? And P has to be less than 10, so this time actually we have a solid connection between them, right? See, S is greater than 10 and P is less than 10, so obviously by the help of this we can say that S has to be greater than P, isn't it guys? S has to be greater than P, but they have written S is less than P. We have a relation between S and P, but in the conclusion the statement, the relation is not correct. So this is also false. That means both of them are false, clearly false. That means the best choice is option D, right? Easy question. I believe this is clear to all of you, right? First is not conclusive. Yes, Sumit. Very good, Sumit. Alright, let's move to the next question guys quickly, right? I think we should increase the speed now, right? Because the questions are not very difficult right now. Once the easy question finishes, then we will also do some difficult problems. Everyone please try question number 3 now. Alright, a lot of correct answers. Answer is option E. Yes, answer is option number E. Let's see quickly how can we do that. Guys, in both the statements you see that A is a common variable which we can use as a bridge, right? Okay, conclusion number 1 is B about B and R, right? So how can we do that? They are saying that A is equals to B, B is less than equal to C, and then they are saying that A is greater than R, right? Okay, we have to connect A, B and R in the first conclusion, right? Let's assume for a while that A is 10, right guys? And if A is 10, B is also 10, that's very simple. And A is greater than R, so R is less than A, that means R should be less than 10. So guys, B is 10 and R is less than 10, pretty easy. B has to be greater than R, right? Very obvious, because B is 10 and R is less than 10, so B has to be greater than R. I don't think we need to discuss it more after doing so many examples and questions, right? This is something should be easy to understand. Second one is about R and C, right? So R is here and C is here. So guys, we can say one thing for sure, that C has to be less than or equal to B, and B is 10. So C has to be less than or equal to 10. Simple, right? C has to be less than or equal to, oh, I think I did it wrong. C has to be greater than or equal to 10, right? See, B is less than or equal to C, so C has to be greater than or equal to B, and B is 10, so C has to be greater than or equal to 10, right? Okay guys, C is greater than or equal to 10 and B is R is less than 10. So we are pretty obvious that we can make a relation between C and R. See, even if C is 10, R is less than 10 and C has to be greater than R. And if C is greater than 10 and R is less than 10, then also C is greater than R. So in both the ways, in all the ways, C has to be greater than R, or R has to be less than C. That means this is also true, and we can say the answer is option number E, right? Anyone any doubt on this? Just let me know quickly. Yes, Varsha, assigning numerical value makes it easy. That's true. Yeah, and I have seen that a lot of students do not do this. Some students try to remember some tricks which I will never suggest. See, just for one question we are learning few tricks. Just for one kind of question we are learning some tricks. Not a good idea, right? Assigning values is very easy. Yes, Varsha, that will make even the difficult questions easy. Varsha, are you trying to say something? Okay, anyone any doubt with this question, or shall we go further? Probably we can go ahead, right? Question number 4, guys. In this, everyone just try to do this quick. All right, Varsha, understood. That's great. You are doing the things in a very proper manner. All right, other people, what should be the answer for this question number 4? Oh, Siddhant, it's not correct. Look at it again, Siddhant. Priyam, sorry, it is not correct. Meenakshi, it is a correct answer. Very good, Meenakshi. Sumit is correct. Fianshu Motwani, it is also correct. Very good, Fianshu. Bhavna, it is correct. Very good, Bhavna. Sumit is saying, if this is a question where if one is true, the other one is true. I don't understand your point, Sumit. What is not there in the option? Kind of this, then this. Okay. Yes, Sumit, it might be possible, but that is not present in the option. Yes, that's not present in the option right now. Okay, and such kind of question usually I have not seen are asked in inequalities, right? Okay, let's try to handle this question, guys. They are saying what? The statements are about D, E, F and F is J. So you can see that F is a common, variable among these two. So we'll try to connect the things with the help of F, right? Okay, now they are saying that J is less than F, right? All right, first conclusion is about D and J, all right. And remember, we have to connect with the help of F. So let us again assume F for a while. Let's say F is 10, okay. Okay, D is greater than J. Guys, this is something not maybe that simple, right? Maybe slightly confusing. So remember, I told you one thing, that if something is looking confusing, right, then try to do just opposite of that, right? Do not try to make it true, in fact try to make it false, because that can be easy to do, right? Okay, so let's think for a while. They're talking about D and J, right? Okay, so one thing is sure that J is less than F, right? So J has to be less than 10. This is very obvious that J has to be less than 10. In fact, D should also be greater than 10. That is also very obvious, right? Okay, so it looks easy after this. G has to be, alright, this is I think easy, not that difficult, right? Okay guys, maybe E is 10 or maybe E is greater than 10. Let's say it's either 10 or 11, right? Both the possibility I have written, either E is 10 or 11. Now D is greater than E, so if D is greater than E, we can say D is either greater than 10 or we can say D is either greater than 11, right? This is what I wrote here. Now J is less than F, which is 10, so J is definitely less than 10, right? So I think that is pretty easy to connect the relation now. In the first case, you can easily see D is greater than 10, J is less than 10. So D has to be greater than J, very obvious. This is greater than 10, this is less than 10, so this has to be greater than this, right? Same here, this is greater than 11 and this is less than 10. So obviously D is greater than J. So guys, in all the cases we can say D is definitely greater than J. So this should be true, isn't it? This actually should be true. Oh, maybe D is less than J as well, right? Just a second. Oh, I think I just wrote it wrong, that was less than equal to, guys, I just wrote it greater than equal to. That's why, we just messed it here. Don't worry, let's do it again. It happens sometimes, typing mistake, writing mistake, okay. Let's do it again. E is less than equal to F actually, right? And J is less than F, alright. Let's assume F as 10 again, alright. So in this case, E is less than or equals to F, right? Okay, let's take the cases. Let's say F is 10, so E can be either equal to 10 or it can be less than 10. So let us assume for a while E as 9, alright, just an assumption. And D is greater than E, so if D is greater than E, I'm just writing here that D is greater than 10 and D is greater than 9, okay, nothing much. Here J is less than 10, right guys, J is actually less than 10. So there can be a lot of possibilities again, right? J less than 10 could be, I think, actually any value, right? Okay, in this case, J is less than 10, right? In this case, we say J is less than 10 again, okay. Guys, this case is pretty obvious. If D is greater than 10 and J is less than 10, D has to be greater than J, right? D just has to be greater than J. What about this case? They are saying D is greater than 9, okay, and J is less than 10. This is what we know. Now in this case, guys, it can be a lot of cases again, right? Let's say D is 9.5 and J is also 9.5. That's possible because D is greater than 9 and J is less than 10. So they both can be equal to each other, 9.5. Let's say D is 11 and J is maybe 9, right? So in this case, guys, D has to be what? D has to be greater than J, right? But there can be one more case. It is also possible that D is being, let's say, 9.2 and J is being 9.8, right guys? This is also a possibility, isn't it? J can be 9.8 as well. And in this case, we will say that the D is actually less than J, right? D is what? Nothing but less than J. So you can just see that all the possible cases are coming here. D can be equal to J, D can be greater than J, and D can also be less than J. So there is no possible relation between D and J, right guys? There is no possible relation. Okay, let's talk about the second relation now. Second is about E and J. E is less than J. So I think we can connect from here itself. No need to check more, right? If E is 10 and J is less than 10, so obviously E is greater than J, right? In the first case, E is obviously greater than J, right guys? E is 10, J is less than 10, E is definitely greater than J. The second case, E is 9 and J is less than 10. And in this case, you know what? All the three cases are possible. J may be equal to 9, so E and J can be equal to each other, right? And okay, I'm just writing it here. E and J can be equal to each other, and maybe J is 9.5, then E will be less than J, right? Or maybe J is 8.5, so E can be greater than J, right guys? So again, all the kind of relations are possible between, you know, E and J. So again, there is no definite relation among them, and we can say the right answer is option number D, right? I hope this is understood to all, right guys? Anyone any doubt, you can write in the chat. Anybody, if there is any doubt, you can quickly write in the chat, or else we move to the next problem. Okay guys, now the next question is actually on the same, but now we have three statements, right? Just a second. Alright guys, so question number 5, we are having three statements as I said, so why don't you try it first? All of you just try to do it first, and then I will also explain question number 5. Question number 5, the answer is E. Yes, that's true, you know, a lot of students have written it correct. Alright, let me explain quickly. Question number 5 is E, given correctly by a lot of students. That's a nice thing, right? Okay, the statements are n less than a equal to t greater than equal to z, then r is greater than equal to t, and then z is less than s. Alright, so between 1 and 2 statement, you see that what is common? The common is actually t, and between 2 and 3 nothing is common. Between 1 and 3 z is common. Alright. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's first read the conclusion number 1, that is about r and n, right? So r is where? R is in 2 and n is in 1, right? So we have to actually connect the statement 1 and 2 somehow to get a relation between r and n. So n is, guys, less than a, okay? A is equal to t and t is greater than equal to z. And the second one is that r is greater than equals to t, okay? Now the conclusion 1 is about r and n. R is here and n is here. And the common factor between these two statements is t, right? The common factor is t. Okay, so how do we do that? Right, we have to connect with the help of t, right? So, and we have to relate n and r, right? Okay, let's assume anything, guys. Let's assume t for a while as 10, right? Then a will be also 10 because a is equal to t, very obvious. Now n is less than a, that means n must be less than 10, right guys? N also must be, we can say, less than 10 because that is less than a. Now r is greater than equal to t, that means r has to be greater than equal to 10, right guys? R has to be greater than equal to 10. Now that is very obvious that r is at least 10, you know, 10 or more than 10, and n is less than 10. So there is a easy relation between them, that r has to be, you know, greater than n, right guys? R has to be greater than n. R can't be equal to n, r has to be strictly greater than n. That's why conclusion 1 is definitely true, right? Now coming to the conclusion number 2, that connects s and z, and that is something given already. You know why? I don't know, they have given this conclusion, maybe to confuse us, right? So that is something already given. Z is less than s, that means s is greater than z. This is also correct. That means option E is the right answer, right? Simple question, guys, okay? Now I would like to give you, you know, 2 questions for the homework, okay guys? Question number 6, right? This is for the homework. You can take a screenshot or anything, you know, you can watch it, look at it later. And question number 7 also for the homework, right guys? This time you have to write your answer in the comment. I'll be, you know, personally checking your answer and trying to comment, okay? I commented in the last video as well to the students who gave the right answer. In fact, in the last video also, if you could not answer, you can answer right now as well. You know, I'll definitely reverse in your, you know, comment, all right? Whether your answer is correct or not, I'll try to tell you there. Okay, moving to question number 8, guys. Now the difference in question number 8 is that now we have 3 conclusions, you know. That's why I wanted to give you separately. So now let's start with question number 8. I think you can try first, right? I think you guys can try first. So let's try for maybe 2 to 3 minutes, right? And then I will also explain. All of you just try for 2-3 minutes. Alright guys, a lot of answers have come up. The correct answer is option D, you know, option D, D for Delhi. Alright guys, the right answer is option D for Delhi. Let me show you how. Okay, we have 3 conclusions and 3 statements as well, right? Guys, the first conclusion is about R and Y, okay, R and Y. Now we see that R is present in only statement 1, right, and Y is present in only statement 3, right? So we should connect statement 1 and 3 only. What is the common link between statement 1 and 3? The common link is N, right? We have to connect with N, obviously. Okay, and we have to find the relation between R and Y. So this is R and this is Y, alright. Let's assume for a while that N is 10, right? You can assume any other number as well, by the way. I just assume 10. You can assume 100, 90, anything which you want to, in which you are comfortable. Okay, now N is greater than Y, right? So Y is definitely less than N, or we can say Y is less than 10. Simple. Alright. Next thing, N is less than or equal to K, K is less than R. So guys, I think pretty obvious. See, even if let's say K is equal to 10, or see, K is greater than or equal to N, right? K is greater than or equal to N. So we can say K is greater than or equal to, you know, we can say greater than or equal to 10. Alright. So what about R, guys? R is definitely greater than 10, you know, because R is greater than K. If R is greater than K, R is definitely greater than 10. And Y is definitely less than 10. So very obvious with these two we can say that R has to be, you know, greater than Y, you know, R has to be greater than Y. That means conclusion 1 is definitely true, right? I'm sure you all understand this. Okay, conclusion 2 is relating Q and D. Q is in statement 2 and D is in statement 1. And we can connect them with the help of K, right? With the help of K actually, okay. What about conclusion 3? Let me see. They are connecting S and Y. So S and Y can be connected with 2 and 3. Okay, I think that may be tricky because there is nothing common between second and third statements. Alright, conclusion 1 I'm sure is, you know, clear to all of you. Now talk about conclusion 2. The connecting Q and D. Q is in statement 2 and D is in statement 1. So we have to connect statement 1 and 2 now. So they are saying in statement 1 that D is less than or equal to N. N is less than or equal to K and K is less than R. Statement 2 is that S is less than K, K is less than equals to, you know, Q. Alright. Okay, we have to connect Q and D, right guys? We have to connect Q and D. The common is K between them, alright. So let us assume for a while that K is 10, okay. So what about Q? We can say Q is definitely, you know, greater than or equal to K. So it has to be greater than or equal to 10 for sure because K is 10. Now N is less than or equal to K. So N should be less than or equal to 10, right? And D is also less than or equal to N. So D is also we can say less than or equal to 10, right? So guys, D is less than or equal to 10 and Q is greater than or equal to 10. So what can be the relation between them, right? Okay, there is a possibility that both of them are equal to 10. There is a possibility, yes. So D can be equal to Q, right? D can be equal to Q. Or the second possibility that D is less than 10 and Q is greater than or equal to 10. In that case, you know, D will be less than Q. One more possibility that Q is equal to 10 but this is less than 10. In that case also Q is greater than D or D is less than Q. So anyways guys, about D and Q we can have only two relations. Either D is equal to Q or D is less than Q. So we can say D is less than equal to Q or Q is greater than equals to D, right? That means conclusion 2 is also true, right? Guys, I don't think I need to mention so much, you know, on this now. What do you guys say? Do I need to explain conclusion 2 more or is it okay? Everyone, is conclusion 2 fine or do I need to explain more about this? Anyone? Do you want me to explain more about conclusion 2? Maybe not. Alright, that's why no comment message is coming. So let's discuss the conclusion number 3 now, which is looking, you know, a bit tricky for now because guys, S is present in statement 2, Y is in statement 3 and there is no connection between them, right? But you know what, K can be taken from there probably and you know N from there maybe, right? Let's see that. So they are saying S is less than K, less than or equal to Q, and then they are saying N is greater than Y and less than or equal to J, right? Okay, and the first statement was that D is less than or equal to N and less than or equal to K and less than R. Alright. Okay guys, there is no direct connection as we already discussed, right? Okay, so let's assume the values of N and K because N and K are, you know, common in other statements, right? With the statement number 1. If we assume for a while that N is 10, okay, so K has to be what? K has to be greater than or equal to 10 because K is greater than or equal to N, right? So K must be greater than or equal to 10 and N is 10, right? K is greater than or equal to 10. Okay, now this is about S and Y. S is here and Y is here, right guys? So S is less than K where K is greater than equals to 10, alright. So guys, there can be a lot of possibilities, right? If we start working here first, N is greater than Y, that means Y is less than N. That means Y is definitely less than 10, right? Y is definitely less than 10. Okay, here, let's say K is 10 once and let's say K is greater than 10 means 11 once for a while, right? So S is less than K, right? So S in this case is less than 10, and in this case s is less than 11, right guys? And this is y, which is less than 10. So we can see that, guys, that they can be all the possibilities, isn't it? They can be all the possibilities. Not a single relation exists between s and y. They can be all the three relations possible, right? See, if let's say s is for a while equals to 9, okay, and y, from here we can say from the first case, all right. Okay guys, so y is what? Y is less than 10. That's the only thing we can say, right? Here, if I assume for a while that y is equals to 9, okay, sorry, s is equals to 9, right? And for y, we just know that y is less than 10, right? So what can be the possibilities of y? Let me write all the possibilities of y, because y is less than 10. Y can be 9.5, y can be 9, and y can be maybe 8 as well, right? So again, all the three relations exist, about s and y. S can be, less than y as well, s can be equal to y, and s can be greater than y as well. So all the three relations are possible. Same in the second case of s, here also all the three cases can be possible. So this conclusion 3 is not true for sure. That means only option D is the best option, right guys? I am sure you understand this. If any doubt, you can write in chat, right? Okay, so this is about question number 8. Now similarly, let's discuss a few more questions, right? Question number 9, or if you just try to do it your own once, you can take around 2 minutes, right? And then we will discuss this as well. Alright, some students are answering about 6th and 7th. So 6th was option D actually, right? And 7th is option B, B for Bombay. Meenakshi, 7th is option B. Alright guys, if I talk about question number 8, right, option D is true. Oh, question number 9, sorry, question 8 is already done. Question 9 is also option D, right? Option D. A lot of students are answering option D, in fact, right? Okay, let me explain question number 9 once. Answer is option D for Delhi. Okay, guys, the first conclusion is about S and D, right? So S is in statement number 3 and D is in statement number 1. So we have to try to connect statement 1 and 3, right? So they are saying that T is greater than or equals to M, okay? M is, we are given greater than W, okay? W is given less than or equals to V is given less than D, and D is given greater than or equals to G. Alright, a lot of connections, you see that. Okay, the last one is about L, M, S and U, right? So let me write this here. L is greater than M, M is for the less than S, and S is for the equals to U, alright? Fine, so this is about S and D. So D is here and S is here. What is common between these two guys? You can see that the common is M, right? The common one is M. So let's start with M only. Why do we, write the other variables? Obviously no need. So let's start with M. Let's say M 10 for a while. Okay guys, M is 10 for a while. If M is 10, S has to be what? S has to be less than M. That means S has to be less than 10. Simple, right? S has to be less than M means S has to be less than 10. Okay, here, it will take some time, but it's not very difficult. See, M is greater than W, so W is less than M for sure, right? So let me write this here. If M is 10, so first thing, W is less than M. Let's assume for a while that W is 9. Just assume that W is 9. Then they are saying W is less than or equals to V, right? So V and W can be equal, all right? Or we can say V can be greater than W as well, right? V just can be greater than W as well. So V can be greater than 9 as well, okay? Now they are saying V is less than T, right? V is less than T. Okay, if V is less than T, that means D is greater than V. Let's say D is greater than 9, okay? And here also a lot of possibilities are there. Why am I saying a lot of possibilities? Because ultimately we have to relate with S, which is also less than 10, right? So nothing much guys, just we can take a few values, or if you understand the things, you do not need to write much. If you do not understand, only then you need to write the numbers, okay? So they are saying that V and B greater than W. So let's assume that V for a while is maybe 9.5, or it can be 10 also. Let's take again all the possibilities. Now D is greater than V, so D is greater than 9.5, and here D is greater than 10, right guys? So everything is I have mentioned. Now here, if I say that D is greater than 9, S is less than 10, so what about S and D? Actually anything is possible guys. Even in this, we connect this, then also you can see that all the relations of S and D are possible. Maybe they both are 9.5, means they both are equal. Maybe D is 9.2 and S is 9.8, then D is less than N. Or maybe D is 9.8 and this is 9.2, so D is greater than S. So all the relations are possible about S and D. I don't think we need to think about this and this. Already we can see that all the relations are possible. So conclusion 1 is not correct for sure, right? We do not need to work more about this. Conclusion 2 is about T and B, right? So about T and B, what we can do, we can connect statement 1 into here, right? Okay, let me find some space. All right, T is in first conclusion statement, sorry, B is in second statement, right? So they are saying that T is greater than or equals to M, greater than W, all right, and less than or equals to V, and then less than T, and then greater than or equals to G, right? The second one is that E is greater than B, and B is greater than or equals to V, all right? This is all we have. All right, now what next? What is next? We have to connect T and B. What is common these two guys? The common is, if you look at this, the common is V, right? The common variable is V. Let's say V is 10, okay? Connecting T and B. I think that's also easy. B is very obvious. B has to be greater than or equal to 10, right? About this, guys, you see that everything is coming greater than, and less than equal to. So all the relations are coming. So actually it means that we cannot talk much about the value of T, right? T can be greater than 10, T can be less than 10, or maybe T is equal to 10 as well. So everything will exist, right? If you want to do it more, so let's say for a while that W is what? Less than or equal to 10, right? M is definitely greater than W. So let's say that W is either 10 or 9, okay? I consider both the possibilities. W is either 10 or 9. Then M is definitely greater than W. So M here should be greater than 10. Here should be greater than 9. Last, T is greater than equals to M, right? So T, Okay, we do not know the value of m, right? If I say m for a while that, m is greater than 10, so let's say it is 11. In this case, I'll take two cases. Why? Because we have to connect 10, right? We have to connect with b which is greater than or equal to 10. So I'll take a value which can be greater than 10 also, equal to 10 also, right? Because m is simply greater than w. So let's say m for a while is 10, or maybe m is 9.5, or maybe m is 11 as well, right? Let's take all the possibilities. Now t is greater than or equals to m, right? So again guys, t either can be equals to m means 11, or t can be greater than 11, right? Greater than 11 for sure. Okay. In this again, m is either, t is either greater equal to 10, or it can be greater than 10. Okay, in this again guys, again we have all the cases. In fact 11 we can remove, we should just think with 9.5. m is 9.5, so t can be either 9.5 or t can be greater than 9.5, right? Okay, now let's connect with this, right? So guys, b is greater than or equal to 10, okay. What about t? T can be 11 or greater than 11. So there is no relation actually, right? Even with this you see that there is no possible relation about t and b. They can be all the three relations possible. If b is 10, right, then definitely t is greater than b. If b is 11, then they can be equal to each other as well. Or if b is 12, then t will be less than b. So point is that there is no definite relation, The thing is that if you understand the things easily, then you do not need to write so much. You can do the things in your mind as well, right? But if you are confused, then you can go with the numbers. If you are not able to, get the things surely, then you should go with the numbers. Otherwise, you can do a lot of things in your brain without writing, okay? Fine, moving to the last conclusion here, which is about W and D. So that is something I think given to us, right? In one statement, so we do not need to check anything else. Only the statement 1 can be sufficient, right? Where they are saying that W is less than or equals to V and V is less than D, right? Very obvious guys, with the help of these two we can say that W is definitely less than D. If W is less than D, then third conclusion is true, and we can say option D is the best option here. Simple. Alright, hope this is clear. Alright, so that was guys question number 9 with us. Now let's try one more question, right? Okay, in this question something is different, right? So what is happening here? It's not given directly, in the previous question we were given directly that this is greater than or less than. Now here they have given the inequalities in the coded relation. For example, they are saying that if written p is less than p at the rate q, that means p is neither greater than nor equal to q. So guys, what is the meaning of this? P is neither greater nor equal to, that means p is less than q, right? Hope you understand. P is neither greater than q nor equal to q, that means p is strictly less than q. Second is p is neither smaller than nor equal to, that means p is strictly greater than q, right? I'm sure you all understand that. It means p is strictly greater than q. Next, p is not greater than q, that means p is either less than or equal to q, which this is what we can say, right? Next is p is not smaller than q, that means p is either greater than q or equal to q, this is also we can say. Last one, p is neither smaller than nor greater than. So guys, the only thing is that p is equals to q is possible, right? So this again one more way of giving the information, alright. Now coming to the questions, we have 3 statements, in fact 4 statements and 2 conclusions again, right? So they are saying A is at the rate B. At the rate means, as I told you here, that means that A is less than B, right? So we can say we are given A is less than B. Then we are given B percentage C. Percentage means greater than, so we can say B is greater than C, right? Next is C dot star C. Star means is equal to actually, so C is given equal to D. And the last one is D dollar E. Dollar means is greater than equal to, right? So we can say D is greater than equals to E over here. Now we have 4 relations and 2 conclusions. Let's see both the conclusion one by one. The first conclusion is B percentage E. That percentage means guys is actually greater than. So they want to check that whether B is greater than E or not, right? They just want to check whether B is greater than E is true or not, right? So I think you can see that B is greater than C, C is equal to D, so B is also equal to D. and then B must be actually greater than equal to E, right? What we can say, B is greater than equal to E. So everyone, what do you think? Is it conclusion true or not? What do you guys say? Is it conclusion true or not? Yes, actually this conclusion will be true, that's correct. See, they are saying B is greater than E, right? Okay, let me write this again. B is greater than C. Let's say for a while that B is 10. So C has to be less than 10, we can say that, right? C has to be less than 10. So let's say C is 9 for a while, so D is also 9, and E is greater than equal to D, so E has to be greater than equal to 9, right? Okay, E has to be less than equal, right? My mistake. D is greater than equal to D is greater than equal to E. That means E is less than equal to 9, and E is less than equal to 9. We can say so. B is 10 and E is less than equal to 9. So obviously B is greater than E. That means conclusion 1 is definitely true, right, guys? Second conclusion is about A and E with the sign of percentage. That means greater than, right? So they are saying A is greater than E actually. Okay. What about A? We know that A is actually less than B. So if B is 10, we can say A is less than 10. Remember, I'm just using the last relation which we wrote above with the conclusion number 1. If B is 10, A is less than 10, right? And C is again 9, let's say. But here the thing is that we do not know the exact value of C, right? And we can't use like this. We just know that B is greater than C. So C has to be less than 10, right? C just has to be less than 10. Okay, and C and D are equal, we know that. Guys, again, if you want, you can take a few values, but I'm sure after doing a lot of question, you must have understood that we actually cannot get a relation between A and E, right? Because this is less than 10, this is greater than 10, this is less than 10, this is also less than 10, sorry. So they both can be either equal to each other, they both can be, one can be greater, one can be smaller. And also, with the same thing will happen with E, right? D and C are anyways equal, and E is also, we can say, less than equal to D. So this will also have the similar kind of you can say unsurety, right? So there is no possible relation between A and E. Do you guys want me to explain this in more detail, or is it okay? Does anyone wants me to explain conclusion 2, or is it fine with some more numbers? I think that is fine, right? Because we have done so many examples and questions, so it's easy to understand now that whether is it possible or not. So this is something we'll say that this is possible but not definite, right? So only conclusion 1 is true. That means answer is option number A. So this is how this question is done. Now guys, the next question I want you to try at at your home, question 11, right? You can try later on question 11 as well as question number 12. So 2 questions again, you can say for the homework, right? And I want your answer to be in the comment, right? And I'll make sure that I reply all of your comments, right? Alright guys, so I think this is where we can end today's class as well, right? Now guys, we'll be meeting the next Friday, Saturday with some more interesting chapters of logical reasoning. If you want me to cover any chapter, right, then you can write in comment, and then I'll be coming with your chapters, right? Which chapter you want me to cover. Alright, till then, thank you so much guys. Stay tuned with the series and keep preparing. Thank you.